My boyfriend, 26 male, and I, 23 female, cheated on each other. My boyfriend, 26 male, and I, 23 female, have been together for the past 5 years. I really thought that we had a healthy and wonderful relationship, that we would get married and have kids. Last year, I caught him cheating on me with his ex. The affair lasted for about half the length of our relationship at the time. Although they never went all the way and had sex, she is deeply religious. They went on regular dates that he would pay for. She started seeing someone else and they broke things off. He never told me about his infidelity. I stumbled across it one day by pure chance. He lied, gaslit, and manipulated me about the whole thing until I reached out to his ex and she told me the truth. Since then, he has been doing his best to reconcile. He spends all his time with me, shares his location and information, sends gifts, and shows me that he loves me. I have been devastated and never looked at him the same way, although we have been slowly rebuilding a future together. I didn't have the strength to leave him then. So this last weekend, my friend, 25 male, took me to the local club. We got incredibly drunk and he tried to make out with me about a dozen times, and I turned him down over and over again. At some point I just got too tired to say no, and eventually agreed. When we finally kissed, things really snowballed and we hooked up in a nearby hotel. I had every opportunity to stop it, but I didn't. I do remember enjoying it in the moment and thinking about how my boyfriend would have no right to complain given what he did to me. The next day, I broke things off with my friend and have been no contact with him since. I also told my boyfriend what happened immediately and answered any questions that he had. But this whole situation just leaves such an icky feeling in my stomach. I never imagined myself as a cheater. I know that my boyfriend is hurt by my actions, but blames himself and is trying to forgive me for it. I just don't feel like any of this is healthy. I still don't forgive him for his infidelity, and now I don't trust that he won't try to get back at me for this either. It's all just so toxic and I can't believe that this is my life. I never wanted any of this, I just wanted a stable and loving relationship. Should I break up with him so we can both try to heal as individuals and hopefully become healthy people one day? Or are we both equally horrible and deserving of each other at this point? Too long did not read. My boyfriend cheated on me for years with his ex, but didn't have sex. I cheated once by having sex. He lied while I was honest. Should I break up or make up? I think you guys have passed the point of no return. You hooked up with your friend because you can't forgive and get over your BF cheating. Your BF really led a second life for a long time while he was cheating. Dating for, what, months? That's pretty calculated. Break up. I'm more concerned about your friend getting you drunk, and repeatedly trying to kiss you until the point of exhaustion. There's a term for that. Let's talk about the friend that did not take no for an answer until you gave in. Did you actually feel safe saying no him? You said you had plenty of chances to stop it? But you also said that you told him no a dozen times until you finally gave in because he did not relent. I think the relationship with your partner is over, but I also think you really need to examine your friend's actions here. Gross. Both of you. God. I'm glad I'm married. This sub is the perfect cure for even the slightest desire to be single again. Your relationship is over for a while now. It's time to stop pretending it isn't. Partner, 30 male. Asked me if I, 26 female, will open our relationship up after 2.5 years together. My partner, 30M, of 2.5 years has asked me, 26F, if we can have an open relationship as he's experiencing severe feelings of depression and physical shaking because he has a lot of urges to sleep with other women. He wants us to open the relationship up twice a year and says he doesn't have anyone in mind, but it's something he feels he needs to get the urges to go away and hopefully bring back our spark, as he isn't as interested in having sex with me this far into the relationship, 2.5 years. I have said to him that I will gain nothing from it as it's not what I want, and to be honest my heart feels like it's about to fall out my chest, but I don't know what to do. I want the happy life with marriage and children, and in my eyes that goes hand in hand with monogamy. I know he loves me and he's even offered for us to have couples counseling, but he still wants the pass, minimum twice a year. If I say yes, I'm only doing it to please him, and if I say no, we will either end up separating or I will have to live with the feeling that I'll never be enough. I guess this is just a vent and I can't talk to anybody about it IRL. What would you do if you were in my position? Too long did not read. Partner wants the open the relationship up twice a year after 2.5 years together, and I am conflicted. Edit. Taking my time to really read through these replies and let them sink in. Thank you so much to everybody that has taken the time out of their day to respond to this. This is going to be the most difficult thing I'll ever have to do if I leave. I really thank you all so much for your input and supportive words. Big hugs to you all. What would I do with a man who won't have sex with me but needs to screw other women so badly that he gets the shakes? I'd dump him. Then he can go screw as many women as he wants as much as he wants. If you are looking for monogamy, this guy isn't the one. He's experiencing severe feelings of depression and physical shaking because he has a lot of urges to sleep with other women. Bullshit. Maybe he has depression, maybe he has the shakes, but blaming a condition on not fucking multiple people is just absurd. Building a case for this nonsense on the basis of some medical complaint is just an exercise in treating you like a moron. Never ever say yes to something so big you don't stand behind 100%. The way he feels about being monogamous with you is not your responsibility. If he wants to sleep around, and you hate the idea, then it's time to quit this relationship. Opening up your relationship is only possible if you're both 100% sure and comfortable with it. And you're not, which is totally fine. TBH him saying he has severe feelings of depression and physical shaking. What the fuck, dude, makes him sound like a big man child trying to guilt you into something for his own good. Never please a partner by hurting your own feelings. You can do way better. Big hug. Tell him you agree and set up a date with another man. It doesn't even have to be real. Just pretend. Get dressed up and leave the house. Watch how quickly he changes his tune when he realizes it's a lot easier for you to go and sleep with other men than it is for him to sleep with other women. I'm sorry he's putting you through this, but from an outsider, he's putting his sexual wants above you. It's not a need, it's a want. People need to eat and sleep. They want to have sex with strangers. Right now he says twice a year, but that won't last. It will be more. He wants to cheat, guilt-free. He's playing with your love and affection to get what he wants. You know you can't do this, so do what is best for you. My 31F husband, 31M, only likes me when he's high. I've been with my husband for almost 8 years now. When we first started dating, his marijuana usage was extreme. He'd smoke every hour, he'd bring it in the car with him if we left the house for more than a few hours kinda thing. It never bugged me until we started having kids. It's not cute anymore. A couple years ago he had no choice but to stop smoking. He was getting tested for his job frequently. He was clean off weed for about a year and he relapsed. When he was sober he was a recluse, always in the room, going to bed at 7 p.m. etc. Take us to present day, he now smokes weed on his days off, 2 days a week, and when he gets ready for bed at night around 7 p.m. I've noticed he's much nicer and easier to talk to when he's high. He's much more affectionate and loving as well. It seems like he only touches me when he's high. This morning we got into a fight, he called me a needy nagging bitch and so on and so forth. So I said in return, you can only stand me when you're high and can't handle me or reality while sober. You only love me when you're high, you only touch me when you're high. I'm done. I'm at the point where the weed needs to go or I'm leaving him. I don't want this fake persona when he's high anymore. I feel like it's not the real him and I don't know who he is anymore. I'm getting confused. I'm starting to believe the real him is the irritable, angry, anxious person I see every morning. Anyone dealt with weed addiction or coming off of it and being a completely different person? Is there any hope for my husband? He didn't smoke for a year and was miserable the whole time, so my guess is that the problem isn't weed. He has some struggles that the weed is helping with. You can suggest that he sees a therapist. Many people go through life medicating in various ways though, and for me weed is one of the best ways to do it as long as you're functioning fine with it. Just my personal opinion. Sue, when he smokes weed before bed and on his days off he is relaxed and happy, engages with you and enjoys life. He quit for a year and his mental health went to shit and he was miserable, and scenario 2 is what you like best? Do you hate your husband? If he quits and goes on medication and becomes happy again, will you call that fake and insist he quits? I don't even know you personally and reading this has made me pack some weed in my bong to chill TF out. He's likely struggling with his own traumas and demons and the weed turns those off. Have you considered that it's not an addiction or a fake persona, but that your husband is mentally unwell and that the weed had a calming affect that allows him to be more himself, not less? So while he might be wrong, have you thought about why he can only stand you when he's drunk or high? Have you considered that you might be part of the problem here? He became a recluse when he stopped for a year. You don't seem to care why, only that he wasn't fun anymore. Maybe if you had tried to be supportive and maybe actually care for him rather than him being fun. Now that we are finalizing divorce papers. My ex-husband, 36M, wants me, 32F, back. I offered him a dream divorce. Any man in North America will envy him about it. I literally left with nothing. I gave up on all my spousal rights. I told him to keep everything we owned together and I didn't get anything from him. I just left. Now that he has a mixed feelings. He asked me for few days to think about the situation and that he wants to be sure that he wants to proceed with the divorce or if we can get back together. He was the one who initiated the divorce and now he said that he will respect my decision if I wish not go back to him and move on with my life. We are still in love, we can see it through our conversations, but I am so hurt. I'm so hurt that he listened to other people and left me and gave up on me. The divorce thing started during Thanksgiving when I refused to go to his family house. Being a Latina, every time I go there, they humiliate me and ask me racist questions. I was not comfortable going. His mom called me and said, if you're not proud to be part of this family, just leave my son alone, we all know you are here just for the money. When he came back, he didn't apologize, he said nothing. He slept in the living room then he left. The next day he came home drunk and then he started a fight and here I left to a shelter. I worked my way up and now I'm doing well financially. He never apologized during the last months. We had a beautiful couple, a very beautiful house. I feel so lost. I don't know what to do. He isn't even sure about anything. Should I give him a chance? No, don't give his a chance. Nothing has changed. His family will still be horrible. He won't apologize and he still won't do anything to support you. He never apologized for his racist family's actions and for enabling their racism. You deserve better. I sincerely hope this is fake. If it's not, don't marry into a racist family, and if you are sleeping in shelters, take every penny you can in the divorce. You are being dumb by giving him everything in the divorce. You would double down on the stupidity if you got back together with him. It's time. Don't go back.